Alright, it is day number 74 of the Cartoonist vlog. At the time of this recording, it is Monday, January 23rd. And yeah, things have begun, let's call it. It has begun. I started to update the Amazing REDBEE and MADCAP Wrestling. Both are updating on Webtoons, Tapas, and their own website. And to be honest, I think I've bit off a little bit more than I could chew, trying to run two comics at the same time. But the Amazing REDBEE is a single, not a single volume, but there is an endpoint in mind with it. So it's not going to be continuously running on for years and years and years. Once I get to the end of this first story arc, that will end as far as updates every week. MADCAP Wrestling, on the other hand, is a continuation. It's an ongoing. I really don't have any. I know certain points that go along in the series that it's going to hit, and the main character Max is going to achieve, and he's going to fall, and all the hero's journey stuff that happens to a hero in MADCAP Wrestling as Max attempts to become the MADCAP Wrestling champion. But yeah, that is an ongoing, and so I have different plot points and everything I want to hit. But I don't really have an ending in mind yet. I can see it going for a very long time, hopefully, if I build up the readers for it. In other news, yeah, so that's pretty much it. Yeah, I do feel like I've maybe bitten off a little bit more than I can chew with these running two comics at the same time. But at the same time, I've always been a little enamored with professional cartoonists, and recently very enamored with the manga artists who produce like up to 20, well, more, it depends. Their updates are weekly, and they're like anywhere between 15 to over 20 pages every week, and some of them are taking breaks, and I think that's what I might do with MADCAP Wrestling. I've had it in my head, like, I'm going to post maybe 3 or 4 weeks. Maybe this week I'll do an update again, and then next week I'm going to do a roster profile. So what that's going to do is it'll give not only the readers a little bit more information on different roster members, but it'll give me a little bit of a break in between my updates. So I have that 1 week there, so maybe I'll do like 4 weeks and a roster break, 4 weeks and a roster break, just to give myself a little bit of a time to catch up, because yeah, as I'm doing all these pages, it's I'm quickly realizing that I'm running out of pages a lot faster than my updates are going up. And I don't want to squeeze down my updates. Right now, I update on Webtoons and Tapas what equivalates to about 2 to 3 pages, because I break up the panels so you can scroll. But it does come out to about 2 to 3 pages, roughly. And yeah, so I have to really hunker down, and I have to get these pages out. So what I thought I'd do today for today's Cartoonist vlog is take you through the website and let you see a little bit of that. And yeah, and well, let's jump into what I'm currently working on for MADCAP Wrestling and the Amazing REDBEE on Procreate. Let's check it out. Okay, so first up we got the Amazing REDBEE. This page I recently put up a video on how to do these speed lines. So if you're into drawing on Procreate, comics and whatnot, and you want to know easy ways to do speed lines, be sure to check that out. But yeah, I have a bunch, still working on coloring the last few pages here. And then I am starting to, I have it all thumbnailed, as I've mentioned in the past. But what I'm doing is going through all these thumbnails now. And as you can see here, first is going to be basically the first page of the second issue. I'm really laying out the page with a little bit more detail and what's going on the page. So you can see, compared to the underlying roughs on this page, look a little bit more detailed than, say, these ones, right? So I go through and I have the initial roughs like this, and then I go back over it and I try to lay out that page a little bit more succinct, so it'll be easier when I start inking. Moving over to MADCAP Wrestling, I'm finally getting done. This is going to be the cover right here of issue 1, or chapter 1, however you want to say it. So I'm finally getting through to the end of it here. I still got to add some shadows and some highlights, but I really like the way that one is coming out. And as far as the first issue, I'm starting to lay out, let's go back here, issue number 2 here. And I'm starting to thumbnail. I have this all written out, but I'm starting to thumbnail now issue number 2. So you can see it's kind of I have to kick it into high gear because I'm barely starting to thumbnail issue number 2, even though I have the story written out. I have to really kick it in high gear because in issue 1 here, this coming week, I'm already going to be in the match, which is like halfway through the issue. So I only have a few more weeks to go. I need to kick it into high gear and make sure I get my updates going. How many times did I say kick it into high gear there? I don't know. And then as far as updates online, you can go to madcapwrestling.online or redbeecomic.online. And I am running out my own website for this. I actually don't have the latest update on the website just because it's not really getting that many visitors. I'm making sure I update first and foremost on Webtoons and Tapas, but I'm using the main websites that I own as kind of the backups. So these will be updated this week. And as you can see, you can just go to madcapwrestling.online and you can read it in traditional format. So it's not all broken down and scroll. You do scroll through it, but you scroll through it as a whole page, which is pretty cool because that's how I like to read my comics there. But if you go to Webtoons, so here is my profile on Webtoons, and it's pretty much kind of the same over on Tapas. And I have both of my comics here listed: Amazing REDBEE, Madcap Wrestling. Go to find Madcap Wrestling on Webtoons. Let's go into the latest episode here, and you can just scroll down and read it just like that. Like I've said in the past, it's not my most favorite way to read comics because I do like taking in comics as a whole. I like reading the whole thing on the page and seeing how the artists put together, because a lot of times, sometimes you will see panels, just 1 panel, 2 panel, 3 panel, 4 panel, right? But the artists that really know what they're doing, they put together elaborate pages where like panels can look out of order, or there's one figure crossing over multiple panels, and it just all comes together really nice in one form of artwork. But a lot of eyeballs on Webtoons. There's so many millions, I can't even remember, but millions and millions of people visit the site every month. Who knows, maybe even every day. So so I'm updating over on Webtoons and Tapas just to try to find out, try to find some viewers, find some eyeballs, try to get some notice. Say, hey, check me out, I'm over here, pro wrestling webcomic, check it out. So yeah, that's what I got going on. Webtoons, Tapas, Madcap Wrestling. Have to buckle down, get my butt in gear, and get some more pages done. So that's going to do it for this update here. Like I said, I have bitten off maybe a little bit more than I can chew, and I'm not slowing down anytime soon because I am and have always been enamored with that. I mean, I wanted to be a comic strip artist growing up. After I discovered what animation was, that's what I wanted to do. But then I realized I was just drawing a lot of the same things over and over again. I'm really more of a storyteller, so comic strips were one of the first things I wanted to do art-wise. And so I want to put out as much content as I can, keep getting better, trying to build an audience. And so I even have a new idea, because after listening to a recent podcast, DJ Kaufman's Draw or Die podcast, and talking about doing a comic strip regularly, not a strip, but a comic, and you only doing 4 panels each update. And I thought, wow, that's pretty doable if you don't go elaborate and you don't try to make your pages all crazy, but you just keep yourself restricted. And in a lot of ways, there is a new creative muscle that you're exercising when you have to stay within 3 panels, when you have to stay within 4 panels. You can't just do whatever you want. So I thought, that's a cool idea, because I do have a bunch of other ideas, and I think I've found one that I want to try to work with this. So that's another thing to add on to the fire of what I'm trying to do. So that one, I don't know when I will start it, but the ideas have taken root for it, so I am starting it fairly. I'm starting to work on it right now, writing it and thumbnailing it, but that will be announced at a later date. So like I said, I just keep adding more stuff to my plate. Anyways, if you enjoyed this, before I go, hey, as of this update, this channel, we are up to 150 subscribers. 150 subscribers! That's awesome. That's awesome. I don't know what I'm doing here on YouTube. I'm just trying to put my stuff out there, I'm putting some tutorials out there. I'll be putting some more tutorials on comic books and Procreate. And I'm going to be putting some more stuff on there, kind of like video essays talking about different characters and whatnot. You'll see them. They'll be coming out in the next couple of weeks. So I'm just trying to do something that other people like and enjoy and want to hear or watch while keeping myself entertained. 150 subscribers. 150 subscribers. That is really, really awesome. So thank you very much for subscribing. If you haven't, hit the subscribe button. Never miss an update because, I don't know, it's the cool thing to do. Everybody pees their pants. It's the coolest thing to do. If you know, you know. And with that, see you in the next video.